Hey everyone, welcome back to Quarterbash. I'm Dave, and this is my last video of 2020. It actually might be my first video of 2021. It really depends on how fast I can get it edited and uploaded to the site. I wanted to make one more video that looked at 2020 in regards to miniatures, metal miniatures, the things, mostly metal miniatures, the gaming miniatures that I sell through eBay and that I talk about a lot on the channel. So, what I thought I would do is go through all the different buys that I made and put up the info on those buys and see how I did, see how I came out. Did I win or did I lose monetarily on those purchases? So over the course of the last year, I've put up a number of videos about buying miniatures on eBay. I think 8, maybe 9, but 1 or 2 of them may have been about miniature collections that I got from other people and made a deal with them to sell their miniatures. I'm not going to talk about those today. I'm only going to talk about the miniature sets that I bought on eBay in the last year where I spent my own money and then intended to recoup. So 3 of those that I did in the beginning of the year, I grabbed some information and some screenshots on those, and I maybe even got some video, but I never made videos about them. These were ones I was working on before the channel launched, and I was only doing coins really for the first batch of videos. It wasn't until I think the Ral Partha batch that I got that I started making videos about miniatures. And so the first 3 I'm going to put up here, I'll start them here, didn't have videos attached. But we'll go over them in terms of the record of the year. So yeah, let's get into that. Let's do that and find out. I won't make this too long. All right, the first one I bought was $257.54 is what I was all in on that one. The title of the auction was Huge Vintage Metal Miniature Lot with Mechton. Mechton is a game, I believe, and there were some miniatures in there. In the packages, the reason why I bought this one and was willing to spend so much money is because there was a lot of miniatures that had never been opened, from the blister packs. And the blister packs were in bad shape, but the miniatures were kind of rare. So in that one, I spent $257.54, and when all was said and done, I made $91.44. It was pretty good. I felt good. I mean, you'd love to double your money, but that really doesn't happen all that often. And I was happy, I learned some things on every one of these, except for maybe the dragons. I learned something in the course of buying these sets and going through them. So even where they didn't make a lot of money, there was still some benefit to it. So that was one, $91.94 profit starting. The next one, it was 150 loose miniatures. I think it said vintage metal figures. This was, I eked out a lot lower profit on this one. It cost me $146.02. And it was mostly miniatures. I think in this one, it was mostly miniatures, like samurai miniatures, clan wars. Didn't know much about those, and I did learn a lot. Actually, in this one, I had a really cool situation where another eBay guy contacted me and said, I'm going to buy some from you. By the way, you have some on there that you haven't, identified, and I know what they are. And I said, cool. Can you let me know about a few others if I send you some photos? So this person helped me identify some of these miniatures because it's very hard with these AEG Clan Wars miniatures to find a good online place where you can identify them. Lost Minis, where I normally go to, does not have a lot of pictures. So that was cool. They weren't worth a lot, but like I said, I eked out a profit. It was $49.75 when all of those were sold through. The next one was a vintage lot of 75 metal miniature action figures. I paid $63.30 for this one. Hold on, let me find out why it was I bought this one, because the title doesn't tell me, but I can go back into my purchase history on eBay. Oh, okay. I've got this one figured out. All right. The title said vintage lot of 75 metal miniature action figures. But what they were is they were Warhammer 40K Eldar figures. And I identified most of them just from the couple of pictures that they put up in the eBay auction. So I knew that those would turn for me all right. I spent $63.30, and in the end, I made a profit of $91.41 on those. So these last 3, I have sold through everything. There's just a handful of unidentified or broken or very cheap small miniatures left just in a random lot. There's nothing left from either of these 3 buys that I would put up as an individual auction. Yeah, so I consider those to be completely done. Number 4 was the combined Ral Partha lots. Okay, this one I did make a video about. There were 2 auctions. I made a deal with the seller. They both had Ral Partha, and when I combined those 2 auctions together, I had some complete sets. And I made a full video, and I actually went through it and made a video about how much these made in the end. And since that video, a couple more things I've sold, I think. So in the end on that one, I spent $148.78 to get the 2 auctions to me. And I made a total of $349.52. This is what you wish would happen every time. After that, I had the Rackham Citadel lot. What did this one say that caught my attention? It said, lot of cast metal figures, Ral Partha, Rackham Citadel, with a question mark. The person didn't really know much about what they had. They sold it for $44. I was all in with tax and shipping for $61.49. And on that one, I made all of my money back and a profit of $83.58. So in every one of these cases, I made all the money back, and then the number I'm telling you is the profit after that. Now, the 6th one, and I made a video about this. This one is the type of deal that I dream about constantly. When I look for miniatures, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this kind of a deal. The auction said, huge lot of metal and plastic D&D war miniatures, repaints, customs, etc. They wanted $125 for it. I think I sent an offer. In the end, I got it with tax and shipping. I got this order for $137.75. I have so far made $567.34 profit on that box. And there's a ton of stuff still in that box. I will put up some video here of what the box looks like now. The trick with what's left is, even with some of the stuff identified, it's in either strange condition or it's maybe not sellable as is. I need to do some work on it. Some of it has custom bases. I need to remove things from the custom bases. Some of the stuff is 15 millimeter, like Civil War, Revolutionary War era type miniatures, which do sell, but these are all mounted on wood bases, and they will take a lot of work to get ready. I'm not sure if they're worth it. And then there's a pile of stuff in there that I just don't know what it is. I don't know what manufacturers they are. I don't know what games they're from. There could be some value there. I don't know. So, yeah, that's a gift that keeps on giving. It's $567.34 profit. So, happy with that one for sure. Okay, so the next 4 are a little different. So this one was, well, I made a video about it. I'm sure I expressed a lot of fear that I'd spent too much money on this one. And this was also the lot where the eBay seller, or another eBay buyer, had gotten in touch with me and said, I think we have each other's parts. And I made that video about trading the parts for the dragons, and I was able to sell more. So the trick with this one is I have not sold a lot of the items in there, at least not yet. I've sold some. So this was called Vintage Lead and Pewter Items, Ral Partha, Grenadier, and others. My total out the door on that one was $331.81 after tax and shipping. So I went in pretty deep on that one. And it was the most expensive buy of the year. And right now I am still down $112.05. Now, I definitely have more than that in miniatures listed. I may have to lower the prices on some of the things I was hoping for more money on. I've got a couple of Citadel Dragons in there that potentially can go for good money, and they might by themselves cover that gap. But I don't know. I may have to lower the price on those just to get the money back. So that story is not told yet. I do believe I'll at least zero out on that one, which isn't worth it. Like, if all I do is just zero out and get my money back, then I just paid my work time to have toys to play with. I don't mind that too much. I mean, I get to make videos too. It's kind of fun, but that's not the goal here. I'm supposed to be reselling, making money. So, the next one. $71.63 for 3 dragons. Here's 2 of them. The other one got listed today. So I am still down $71.63 on that deal. I've made nothing. Michael and I decided to keep these. At some point, we're going to paint these. Maybe we'll film each other doing it. And put that up. But we're holding on to these. The one that I have up could sell and cover the entire cost of the thing. Or at the very least, it'll sell for a price that makes these quite cheap for us, considering that these are pretty sought after Ral Partha AD&D Council of Worms dragons. Alright, the next one. Oh, so this was Ral Partha Grenadier Lot of 33 with Battletech miniatures. I don't think the auction title actually said it had Battletech. It just said Ral Partha Grenadier Lot of 33. Those were the miniatures that came all in this small wooden case. What I was really excited about with these was the Battletech miniatures, which I showed in the video. When all was said and done with this one, I paid $32.45 to get it, and I made a profit of $75.27. And there's still miniatures in here. The thing about these, they're not enough to sell on their own. I may have to just lock these up in another auction with things that are left over from other things and make a little bit of money on the back end. But for the most part, this is done. I would say $10 to $15, value left in this box, maybe. Not enough for me to spend much time on. But that's good. That's in the profit column. And then this last batch that I got, the large Warhammer AD&D lot, I bought in November. Yeah. So I put this one up not long ago. I've only listed a handful of things from that auction. I paid $233.25, and I'm still down $206.87 on that one. But much like the one with the Dragon Parts trade, I don't know that I'll do much better than break even, so it was probably a bad buy. But that happens every once in a while. Okay, so how does it work out for the year? For purchases I made for things to sell where I kept all the money, in 2020, I spent $1,484. Apparently it came out even. Wow. $1,484. And I made a profit of $917.76. Which means I made the $1,484 back and then got $1,917.76 on top of it. So in 2020, selling miniatures that I bought off eBay, brought home, repackaged, and resold, I made a total of $2,401.78. All right, that's not so bad. I mean, it's hobby level. It's not terrible. I don't know that I'm going to keep up with it. And here's why. Not in the same way. The way I've been doing these sales, I can afford to put up, small auctions where I sell things for sometimes like $3 to $7. Small individual miniatures. In the future, I need my sales to come in above $10. $15 or higher is really what I want in order to spend that much time on one thing. Because I'm going to have to do this more like a business, more like something I'm trying to use to pay the rent. That's kind of the plan for 2021, at least one of the ones we're looking at, which is probably going to happen. I mean, we're moving ahead like it is. So, because of that, I don't know that I'm going to be buying any questionable lots where I think I might eke out a profit and I'm going to have fun with it. It's going to be more like I buy the ones where I know it's going to be a slam dunk and leave the rest behind. And then instead of trying to sell individual $5 miniatures, I'll lot them up into groups of 4 and 5 and say $15, $20. You lose a little bit, your top end profit when you do that, because you kind of have to put at least one good one in there with the ones that are questionable. But it's a way to do it. So, what good is this info to other people who are selling is what I've been thinking about. And the way I was thinking about it is this. I don't know that I would ever suggest to anyone to go out there and try to make a living selling miniatures online, like used miniatures, unless you had some kind of amazing access to a lot of stuff where you were just selling, a couple $100 a day. Then it would be something that I would say, go for it. That sounds great. But if you do have that hookup, let me know. Let's talk. I love to sell these things. But no, what I think it would be really good is if you find these kinds of things at a garage sale or a storage auction, or you get lucky and you buy a lot of them on eBay. Be a really good way to start an eBay seller's account. If you're just getting started and you want to do some smaller stuff and your bottom line isn't that big of a deal, you just want to get the feedback, you want to be a seller of record, this is a great way to get started. And there's not a lot of risk in it if you know what you're looking at. And I think if you watch these videos that I've put up, and I have them all in a playlist, I believe it's a Miniature Mania. if you watch all of those, I think you can start getting a sense of what you want to look for. You're going to see the same names coming up all the time. Ral Partha, Warhammer, Warhammer 40K, Citadel, Grenadier. These are the things you want to look for. You want the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures from the 80s and early 90s, and you want the Warhammer stuff basically from the late 80s up until now. If you can get a hold of that stuff cheap, it's pretty much just money all the time. And some of the rare stuff, I mean, if you see some of my videos, you can get stuff that can go for up to, like, 60 something bucks a piece, sometimes more, with things in the 20s and 30s being fairly common. And that's a good sale. I mean, I'll take $24, $99 sales for miniatures all day long. I would love to do that as my job all the time. But, we can dream about a lot of stuff. All right. So basically that's it. That's it for 2020. 2021, in terms of sales, I don't know. Michael and I are talking about doing it like possibly full time. If we do that, we might even start a second channel that focuses just on sales. Quarterbash will be more just about treasure, because the sales stuff gets to be kind of more of a grind, and you got to focus on that. So I'm not making any of those decisions yet. I still have a few hours till next year when I really have to, buckle down and make a decision. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do you think I should do? Would you be interested in watching a channel that was just focused primarily on sales and leave the Quarterbash channel to coins and treasure, things that I'm going to get into and have been planning to get into with that, like metal detecting and magnet fishing, things that I think kind of better cover that sort of side of things. And then the other channel, I would have more opportunities to show things like cool record sales and what I find in storage units. Let me know what you think. I mean, for now it's combined. I may keep it that way. Who knows? Yeah, that's what we got. So that is my report on miniatures for 2020. Here's hoping 2021 is a better year. All right. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for watching. See you next time.